Hello class. Mrs. Kessel decided to take a personal day today, so since we're doing virtual learning, All Saints and Miss New decided that they wouldn't be able to find a sub in time, so Issa and I will be teaching the class today. So first of all, we're going to lighten the mood, and we're going to start off the day with a math joke, and then we're going to do 10.3 notes. So first of all, the math joke is, why are obtuse angles so depressed? Well, that's because they're never right. Ha ha ha. So now we're going to get into the notes. 10.3, area of parallelograms and trapezoids. So if you guys can get your notebooks out, that would be great. You know what? I'm not a teacher. April Fools, Mrs. Kessel will be right back.
Okay. We are going to take notes. We're not getting out of that. If you don't have your notes titled, please title them. We're going to learn two formulas today, or review two formulas. You did learn these in 6th grade. We're going to start with parallelogram. A parallelogram is kind of like a smushed rectangle. The qualities of parallelogram is that it has two sets of parallel sides. If we're going to find the area, the square units on the inside, you're going to multiply the base times the height. The height is the straight distance between the base, well, and the other line that represents the same base. You will never use the slanted side. Okay, let's try one together. In your notes, I do want you to be drawing these polygons, but on your homework, you don't have to redraw them. This polygon is a 20-inch by 11-inch. What I do want you to show for work is the formula. I want to see what you plug into the formula. The base is 20 and the height is 11. You are allowed to use a calculator if you want to. 11 times 2 is 22, so 11 times 20 is 220 inches. And because we have two dimensions, the 20 and 11, our answer is squared. So again, what do I want to see on your homework? I want to see these three lines. I want you to try. Find the area of this parallelogram. Push pause and try that now. Start by identifying what formula you're going to use. Plug in the information and then solve. Okay. We're going to move on to trapezoids. A trapezoid can look one of two ways. The qualities of a trapezoid is that it has one set of parallel lines. So this set is parallel, and then a trapezoid could also look like this. It has one set of parallel lines. So this line is parallel to this line. The formula looks like this. Area equals 1/2 height times the quantity base 1 plus base 2. Grabbing a highlighter real quick here. Because there are two bases. This 1 and this 2 is just a label. You're not going to be multiplying anything by 1 or 2. It's not an exponent. The parallel lines are your bases. So notice that this line is parallel to this line. Those are your bases. The biggest mistake that students make is that they put the wrong numbers in for the bases. But it doesn't matter which order you put the base because you're just adding them. If you add numbers in any order, they're still going to mean the same thing. For example, 5 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 5. The height is the distance that connects the bases together. You'll never use the slanted height. On this trapezoid, it's the same idea. The bases are your parallel lines. So this line is parallel to this line. The height is the straight distance between those two bases. If you remember that the parallel lines are your basis, you'll be good to go. So we're trying one together. You're drawing this in your notes, but you don't have to redraw the polygons on your homework. Start by identifying the formula. I'm going to plug the height in, which is 3, and then the bases. Again, base 1 and base 2, it doesn't matter which one's which, it's just you're using the parallel lines. Then you're going to follow order of operations. So I'm going to solve inside of the parentheses. I can take half of 3, which is 1.5, and multiply by 12. That's harder to do. I can take half of 12, which is 6, and multiply by 3. Or I can put this right in my calculator. Instead of using 1/2, I'm going to think of this as 0.5 times 3 times 12. Okay, you try. Push pause and try that now. Start by identifying your formula. Plug in the information. The height is 8. The bases are your parallel lines. It doesn't matter if you put 11 plus 15 or 15 plus 11. When you're following order of operations, you're going to solve inside of the parentheses first, and then multiply. You can take half of 4 or half of 8 to get 4 and multiply by 26. You could do half of 26 to get 13 and multiply by 8, or you can put this right in your calculator. 0.5 times 8 times 26. Okay, so the deal is that you can use your calculator as long as you show this work. You don't have to redraw the polygons on your assignment.